Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 5120. It's a tier 9 French heavy tank. It's located on the westbourne of Paris, and this one is under the command of tanker1200. And you may not know him, but he actually has been a member of What Arty Noobs for quite a few years. In fact, he was there right at the start, along with several other players who sent in replays, well, very early on. Okay, the AMX 5120, it's one of the prototypes in the series that actually became the AMX 50 tank. They actually made 10 tanks in total of this vehicle with different changes to the gun and to the weight and the engine and everything like that. They were trying to make a counter to the IS-3 and the T-10 in the 1950s, and it basically used the same hull as the French M4, which of course is derived from the German Tiger II, and they made this tank with an autoloader, 4-shot autoloader, always been spotted by the enemy, and this one was a 120mm gun, which is capable of doing 400 alpha, 257mm pen with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds 325mm pen. He's trying to set himself up in a nice little nest so he can't be seen. The problem with this tank is it doesn't have very strong armor, but it does have a very strong gun, just a fairly long reload and a weak intra-clip time. Its intra-clip is 3.3 seconds, as you can see there. It says 3.33 on the screen. The standard reload by the book is 34.22 seconds for 4 clips, 4 shells, and he's got 24.01. Now the enemy doesn't appear to be pushing forward just yet. So although he did get spotted, nobody's tried to take a swing at him yet. When they do start to take a swing, he'll probably start suffering, because it doesn't have much armor, this heavy tank. Only 100mm at the front on both the hull and the turret. And in fact, the weight of this vehicle did dramatically increase when they put the 120mm gun into it, because of course it's an oscillating tank, and oscillating tanks tend to be kind of weight heavy. Okay, it's because of the structure and the way that the oscillating tank works. Now, it does have some good points. It's got gun depression of 9 degrees. And of course, 4 shots at 400 alpha is certainly going to damage any tank as soon as they do get hit. Well, he got a low roll there for 405. And he gets another one for 395. And another one on the KV-3. Can he take the guy out? Yes, he does. This tank is notorious for clipping out enemy tanks just like that. So all those guys were hit by a tank that they couldn't see. They didn't even know where he was, but he was pumping rounds into them, and they had no answer, because these shells will just zip straight through them and do a lot. In fact, you can see a large number of the enemy tanks have gathered on the central avenue that runs directly up to the north, and they're not attempting to come this way, even though we lost even though we've only got 2 tanks down there at the moment, the BZ176 and, well, T77 with very low hit points. There's only 2 tanks attempting to come through, and I think actually they're deciding that they want to abandon that area and that route, and they're actually going elsewhere. But we've got a 430, and he takes a round through the side. Can we do it again? Got a shot on his rear, and he goes out with the next shot, but we didn't get the kill. BZ58, they've got a 56 TP, he takes a penetrating shot, lower plate as well, and he gets a high roll for 14. So far, with just 2 clips, he's managed to do 2,052 hit points of actual damage. That's a lot. That's why tanks fear this tank whenever they see it, in terms of being hit by that gun. Although if they can get a shot into it, they know that it's almost guaranteed that it's going to penetrate the enemy vehicle, or rather the AMX. Now, it was developed in the early 1950s. Oh, a 56 TP's tried a blind shot into this corner, and he got a hit. That was a 122mm round. And we fired one at the A phase 1, got a high roll, 423. Can we get the 56 TP? I think he's only just trying to get revenge on us for that shot we fired. Hello! Yep, got one into his hull. He's going to back out again, and he takes another one. Can we get another shot in there? Well, we did take a hit from him, And I think we do need to get out of here because otherwise we're going to take more damage. And so, yes, whilst he's reloading, he's getting the hell out of there and going somewhere else. So far, managed 3,260 hit points of damage. That'd be a good game for anyone, really, if you think about it. But he's not over yet. He's not finished. He's got more to do. And he's only lost half his hit points. He hasn't lost a huge amount, but he did take those hits from the 56 TP, and there was no point in him sticking around and getting hit by more. So he's just gradually walking out. Indian Panzer. Yeah, one shot. That's all it needs. 97 hit points, but it's a kill. So that's 2 kills. Sharpshooter 4 turns around on us. Okay, can we help with this lot? Well, not really at the moment. The A phase one's down low. And the... Have we got anybody else we can kill? Well, we could go up to the centre because there's a T-32 and a Cobra up there. Although the Cobra, well, you know, he's got an autoloader as well. We've only got 3 shells. We really ought to have popped the reload after killing the Indian Panzer. But he didn't want to, just in case he had to use them. So, yeah, we could pull back right now and get those reloads in. The difficulty with an autoloader is if you do fire 1 round, you're severely tempted to pop the reload immediately to get 4 shells in. But the problem is if you do, you might need those shells a moment or so later. And so you have to be certain that you can be clear for the next sort of 20 seconds or so. Remember, this reload is actually shorter than it would be normally for a 5120. Oh, enemy tank behind us. T-28 prototype. He suddenly spotted it. I did. You've got to watch your minimap like a hawk. He's got 3 shots. Now, he ought to have gone to the left there. There's the T-28. He's done it. He's doing it. Good. Obviously, he's reading my mind. Well, not reading my mind, but I'd hate to think of all the rude thoughts he'd be thinking. Say, what is this person? And why is he so rude? No, honestly. Yeah, just need to get to the left and to catch him out. No, he's only coming up slowly, but it's going to dawn on him. Yep, he's gone into the... He's made a big mistake now, and now he's about to go out the game. Oh, so lucky. 24 hit points, but the Sharpshooter 4 finishes him off. Saves us. Okay, in fact, I'm not sure, but yes, he thanked the Sharpshooter for killing that guy off because he could have taken some severe damage from that T-28 prototype. Okay, so he is now in full reload and 32.09 seconds. Oh, so it's actually 32.09, not 34.02. So it's not as short as I thought it was. That's his standard. And he's got 4 shells ready to go. Okay, so he can rock and roll. There's only 3 enemies left. There's a Kampfpanzer 3, a T-32 and an M12. Okay, the Kampfpanzer 3 doesn't have much in the way of armor, but it is their basic, their flat pack. There's Siege Tank Destroyer. There he is. Hello. It's a funny looking thing, isn't it, when it's in Siege? Does look weird. The T-32 has been dealt with, so we've only got the M12 other than this Kampfpanzer to finish off. Oh, he's offering us his hull. Thank you. We'll put another one in. We don't mind the shot. We can exchange one more, and you're out the game. And in fact, the Sharpshooter 4 is the one who got the kill there. Well, I don't think we mind. Oh, driving. Okay, so that means there's only 1 kill left to get, and I think we're going to just sit here and let the Sharpshooter 4 do it. I think he might be typing a message. 5,635, he says. 5.6, new damage record for me. Well, yeah, it is particularly good. Now, I think he's just going to sit here and shoot at a distance. If that M12 gets spotted over in the corner, he's more than likely over there. Sharpshooter 4 making tracks in that direction. Any second now. There he is. Hello. Oh, we missed him. How did that happen? Well, we got him in the next round. Oh, he doesn't have to work hard. Just stand off at a distance and let the others find it for him. Here's the end of battle stats. That was the second class tanker for tanker1200 in the AMX 5120. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 6. He also got a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. A Confederate hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken down by other teammates. And also a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. Let's have a look at team score. Well, definitely the highest damage was 6,355 because the next highest scorer was the Cobra, the other autoloader oscillating turret on the enemy team. 3,662 went to him. And in third place, we've got the T26E4 Super Pershing with 2,610. When it came to kills, well, he was beaten by the Sharp UTEU 4, who actually got a kill steal on that Kampfpanzer 3. 3 kills went to the AMX 5120 of tanker1200, including that shot on the M12 at long range, and also to the BZ176. And in third place, we've got the Lorraine 15550, who managed 2 kills. And on the enemy team, their A Phase 1, their Kampfpanzer 3, and their T28 prototype, who made a terrible mistake to drive up that slope. Instead, he should have waited and maybe popped up through the bushes to see if he could spot anything before he committed himself to putting himself in that place and obvious shots. When it came to base XP, it's the BZ176 who did the best with 1,207, and that's down to the fact he's tier 8 in a tier 9 game, and therefore obviously he was hitting higher tier opponents during that game. The second highest base XP was the Super Pershing, 1,135, and the third highest goes to tanker1200. They were the only 3 who managed to get over 1,000 base. And just in fourth place was the Sharp UTEU 4 with 901. He fired 22 rounds in that game, 19 direct hits on the enemy, 18 penetrations, damage of 6,355 hit points, of which 350 were at more than 300 meters. That was the shot on the M12, actually. He missed the first one. Made sure the second one did count. 4 hits received from the enemy. 3 of them penetrated, 1 non-penetration. I did say the armor on this thing is absolutely diabolically bad. And yes, that 56 TP did try to punish him. If he'd stayed in that corner, he would have received more punishment until he was gone. 360 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That was 1 shot that missed him. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he earned a profit of 34,104 credits from that game and 6,336 experience points altogether. Congratulations for setting a new record for the AMX 5120 under your command. Quite an interesting tank. It's difficult to do a lot of damage, even though you've got a nice little autoloader. It's very prone to getting hit and damaged. The same with the Sumur SM, I suppose, in many senses. Of course, that's a premium tank, but yeah, they both had the same problem. Very light armor, but a nice little autoloader with lots of shells. The better thing about the Sumur, by the way, compared to this, is that the Sumur has 5 shots. This only has 4. So it does make a big difference. Of course, the AMX 5120 was a step up from the AMX 5100 in that, well, not only was it bigger, so it was easier to be seen, but that big 120mm gun does do an awful lot of damage and a huge amount of damage at speed as well, even though that 3.33 second intra clip is a bit of a worry. It's a bit like the reload on the Sharp UTEU 4 in that sense, but it's very nice the amount of damage it will do. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.